Why can't the journalist just ask Arnott about Chiesa? I really don't know. Like, it's not even a crappy question, is it? Like, it's a really sincere, honest, fair question. Sebastian said, Craig, does Slot have a mental problem with Chiesa or just a passenger in the squad? So my best guess, Sebastian, and I have to say, sir, it is a guess because obviously I don't know Arne Slot. It just feels like he's a signing that was forced onto the manager. So let's say Hughes or Edwards, and again, I'm guessing, but let's say one of those or somebody else in the recruitment team thought that there was just so much value in that signing that it was worth the risk. And it feels like Arne Slot has just said, don't want them. Not going to be using them. And this feels, to me, like this is the manager drawing his own line in the sand and saying, not happening. If I don't want somebody, I'm not utilising them. You want to waste money bringing them in, paying them 7 million quid a year, that's on you. But that's the feeling I get. But again, I have to say, I cannot back that up because it is just an opinion. But I can't think of another reason. You know, I was all for buying into the whole, well, he needs to be fit for the first few months of the season. I was I was making sense of that in my head, going, yeah, okay, I can get that. But then you want to see staggered increments that he gets more game time. So 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hours, then give him an hour. But we've never ever seen that. The only time he's been given a run out is in dead rubbers or in FA Cup games that we've put a weekend squad out in. So, yeah, I can't think of another genuine reason why he hasn't given him chances. David Massett said, I think it summed it up today that Slot has lost faith in Elliott and Chiesa. Yeah, it definitely felt like today was another day where we can say he just didn't want to give them a look in. Yeah. It's frustrating. I have to say, David, it is frustrating because they're two players that most Liverpool fans have a lot of time for. Paro said, got to be honest, Craig, hate the fact that Slot is so stubborn. Chiesa is our second best attacker in front of goal, yet never gets brought on. I know. It is. If I was to rank the things that have frustrated me most this season, that would be right up there with Arne Slot as probably number one. Happy that we won, but that second half was Onana bad, said Major Zero. Once again, though, we've seen a situation where the manager snubbed Elliott completely and snubbed Chiesa. I've no problem with him taking Bradley off. That's expected. Coming back from an injury, 65, 70 minutes, probably the most Conor Bradley can play. So I've no problems with that change whatsoever. Taking off Salah, again, I can understand that. I don't really have problems with it, but it's the way that we were just sitting back on that one goal lead that worried me. We don't bring on Chiesa. We take off Diogo Jota, who, look, was not having a good game. But to then put Diaz through the centre, it just feels like we're doing everything possible to not make Chiesa feel wanted at the club. And Liverpool fans, myself and many others, are extremely confused and concerned about why he's getting the cold shoulder. Tom said, don't know why Harvey didn't come on and didn't know why Federico didn't come on. Dom was off it and Robbo was not a good sub today in my opinion. He's the one that needs to leave. He is far from his best. So, you know what, Tom? I totally agree with you about the Robbo change. I thought we lost the step. Costas was having a decent game for me. And I didn't see the need to take him off and bring Andy Robertson on. We certainly looked to be more vulnerable on that left-hand side defensively after Robbo came on. So, yeah, I don't disagree with you. And look, everybody is equally as confused as each other around the Elliott and Chiesa situation. I still don't know why Darwin wasn't even on the bench today. Sedan said, we should be battering these teams at home. Instead, we score first and then decide to sit back and allow the pressure to build on us and its onslaught. It is. I don't disagree, Sedan. Arne certainly let that game build to a point where West Ham grew in confidence and he was too late to act. And then he did act and took off Salah, brought on Endo to try shore it up, and then we conceded a calamitous goal, to be fair. You could see how angry Robbo was. Owen said, players are getting tired playing all them minutes. Massive transfer window needs this summer. Do you know what though, Owen? In all honesty, mate, I'm not having, this is named at you by the way, but I'm not having fatigue as a bullshit excuse anymore. These lads have one game a week now. Plenty of time to prepare, plenty of time to rest up. So there's no excuse for fatigue at this point. You know, you're getting a week between games. We should be at our peak. We should be looking fresh. We should be tearing into these teams. And again, first half, I felt we did well, but I don't know where that second half came from, and I don't know what the hell the manager was thinking with some of the substitutions and the way he's once again ignored Chiesa and Elliott. Chiesa needs to be used, said Tanya. Yep. Look, there is no logical explanation, Tanya, why Chiesa isn't being used. And the only thing that I can say is it feels like Arne just wants to make a point. Don't give me players that I don't want, you know. And I'm not saying that's definitely the answer, but I can't think of another one. You know, it was easy to say he's not fit for the first few months of the season, but that excuse kind of faded away as the season went on. Guilherme said, what I don't understand is that Elliott and Chiesa are creative players. Look at him last season at Juve. Yep. I thought, look, when you were bringing off Jota today, why not put Chiesa through the centre? I don't understand that. He put Diaz through the centre, and look, he's done that a lot this season. Can totally understand and wanting to give Cody minutes on the left, but again, it just feels like he's almost making an example out of Chiesa. And as for Elliott, well, look, again, it feels like it seems like he's going in the summer. Massive summer transfer window, need more players, as Arne only trusts 15 players max, said Stevie Kirkman. If we don't sign the players FSG need to be getting, it is not acceptable. We need to defend this league title. Yeah, and look, I do feel, even with Virgil and Mo staying, going into next season, I feel like we're at least set up to make a good fist of it. But with the right signings, so the left back, the right back, the centre forward, maybe another creative midfield player, I think, yeah, we've every chance of realistically feeling like we can go and defend that title. Chiesa is definitely better than current form Diogo Jota and Cody Gakpo as well, said Nessie. So this piece now coming in said Liverpool would demand a fee in the region of 17 million to 22 million for Chiesa, with the 27-year-old a target for AC Milan and other clubs in the Premier League should Liverpool look to cash in. Well, I'd be amazed if they don't, because, you know, why would the lad stay around to just sit on the bench getting splinters in his backside? Pasky said, only thing I can say is Chiesa can't be versatile enough from Slot's point of view. He's a right winger and nobody can replace Mo. He's in his worst position at the club to get a start. He's a right winger, but again, the position he played most at Juventus was central. So he's more than capable of playing central. And I just really don't think there is a valid excuse as to why Arne hasn't given him more opportunities.